Okay, yeah, good morning. Good morning, family. Good morning, everybody. Yeah, some of you may actually be in the night time actually. So let me just say good day, everybody. Good day, everybody. Yeah, put a smile on your face. Put a smile on your face because your trading journey. I won't say just began though, because because some of us might have already know kind of like to some extent about what trading is. Some of us may just be starting, we just be kind of like starting on, you understand, like kind of starting trade. They're just getting to start to trade. Some of us might still be using indicator. Some of us might just be new into price action. Why, like I said before, some of us generally are just new into forex. Like you can't tell what an indicator is, and you can't even just tell what is happening in the market. Yeah, something like that. So I've actually been there before. Like at a point whereby I wondered, what are these red and green things on the chart? What are these red and green things on the chart? Because I call them things before. Yeah, so that's actually how it is. So now let's go into it now fully. Let's go into this fully now. Okay, yeah. So, like, if you can actually see, don't worry, I'm actually going to explain everything. So, just keep a cool and watch out as we go. Yeah. So, I think I will upload some other two videos so that those guys starting out will actually get to understand. Kind of like those guys starting out newly will actually get to understand the market. And if you don't know how much somebody can make in this market, let me tell you, you can make as much as you want. It all depends on what? It all depends on your skill. It depends on your skill, the level at which you are good. Yeah, then it also depends on your capital. But it doesn't really depend on your capital. Reason because you can grow a small account to a big one before, you understand. You can grow a small account to a big one and then you continue making bigger profits. So it doesn't really depend on your capital. It depends mostly on your what? On your skill. Yeah, skill also, and also in terms of how will I say now, in terms of you being able to control yourself, like knowing the market very well, like you not being tensed when you're in losses, or you not being tensed when you're in profit. You start. So now let's go into what we have today. I don't want to make this video very long, although I have like six assets to analyze. Okay, yeah. So now going into this, I was actually into like constantly and steadily. I was just focused on what synthetic index, because that was what I knew first. I actually heard about what I call it. Sorry for these messages. I actually heard about um how will I put it now, currencies. You understand? I actually heard about currencies, but I started with VIX because my friends and the rest like that, we love not really VIX. We started with boom and crash. It's a long story anyway. So I my friends and I, we actually got a mentor which actually taught us, and the mentor just gave us indicator. He didn't even really teach us. Let me not even say taught us. He didn't teach us. He just gave us indicator, and he just said that we should go and practice. You understand? He gave us the indicator that he himself wasn't using to trade on his account. You understand? So now let's just get into this. It's just a long story. I will talk about that when I sorry. I'll talk about that when I'm talking about my forex journey. Okay, yeah. So let's go into this briefly. Yeah, thank you very much. Okay, as you can see, we have what we have Euro USD on the screen here, right here. We have Euro USD. So we actually want to analyze now all these lines that you're seeing here, which are these all these lines. They are what past trades I've taken. You understand, like the way I actually analyzed it, and it all played out well. It all played out well. Stand still at that, it doesn't mean I haven't lost before, but it all did what it all played out well. Now let's get into this. Let's get into this. Yeah. Okay. Let me delete this line because I deleted the analysis. There was an analysis there before. Okay, yeah. So now let's get into this. what am I seeing here? I can actually see a double top, right, which is an M pattern. A double a double top. Some people may be actually saying it's a head and this no, to me, it's not an head and shoulder. Why? The reason is this. The reason is because this eye and this one is almost equal, and the shoulders are not what, they're not equal. So I will just say it's a what, it's a double top. You understand? Let's just keep it simple. And as you can see, I'm starting from what, day one. You can start from H4, at least. Like, you don't go below H4 when analyzing, because we're actually looking to what, get a swing trade. So don't go lower than what, H4 when analyzing. Okay, yeah, thank you very much. So I'm just starting from the one so that I can see how clear the market is, just to see how clear it is, like, so that I don't get to make mistake. Okay, now I haven't seen the double top, which is here. I haven't spotted out my double top here, like this. Spotted it out already. And thank you. So having spotted that out, so now you know what happened during an M pattern formation. It makes something like this. It makes a retest. You understand? Then it started pushing back down. So yeah. So then I'm going to draw my zone at that point. There ought to be a zone at that point. And that was what my arrow was actually signifying the other time. That was what my arrow was pointing out the other time. Okay, yeah, so I cut this cell also. This massive cell here. I cut this massive cell here, as you can see it. Okay, now so let's just go into this what we have straight now. Okay, now so if I'm actually going to draw my trend line, because if you get to see this, you get to see something like a third touch. Now third touches are what? Third touches move the market. They move price. You understand? Third touches most at times move what? They move price. It is actually a strategy on its own. You understand? It's actually a strategy on its own. Third touch of a trend line. The third touch of what? Of a trend line. So now this is the first touch. I'm just explaining so that those of you that actually don't get can get. This is what the first touch, the second touch, and now it's the third touch. So that was what made me sell. The third touch together with a zone. You understand? Together with a zone. Now going into this now, what can we see in this market? Now I can actually see that there's a support below. I can actually see a support below, like this. Can you see it? You can see a support below, just like this. I can see a support below. So now what I'm saying is that the market could push upward. Now I'm not saying it will break out, like it will move very long like this. Like, I'm not saying it will move as long as this. No, what I'm just saying is that it could push upward. Now let me show you what I mean. Let me show what I mean so I can be clear. Okay, now I don't want to go into what I mean by key levels and the rest, so let me just keep it simple. Okay, yeah, thank you. Okay, yeah, thank you. So as you can see, what can you see? You can see that it's also at a zone. Then there are touches like this, you see, and then the trend line is still supporting it. The trend line is still supporting a movement upward. So what I can see is this. Basically what I can see is this: price may certainly move upwards like this. Price may certainly do move upward to that zone. Can you see it? Price may do price may move upward to this zone, then pick another rejection downward. You understand? That is what price could possibly do. I don't know if you're getting me. That is what price could possibly do. Now if you can see, this trend line is this trend line is a correction. This trend line is a correction for an upward movement. So now it's a correction for for an upward for an upward movement. So now the bigger buy will start when it breaks up like this. The bigger buy will start when it breaks up and make a retest at this point, basically. So now let's go into the next asset. So yeah, coming to our second pair. Our second pair is AUD JPY. AUD JPY. I actually bought this pair. Time will fail me to show you. Yeah, but maybe after the video I can show you. Now let's get something very clearly. Some people may analyze 10 pairs. You may analyze 10 pairs and you want to trade all of them. You may just actually kill yourself, like, and you may even lose a lot. Understand? Just take 2 a day, or even possibly highest. The highest should be 3. Highest should be what? Should be 3. Don't just enter trades just like that on your account. Don't just enter tweets like that. Take them gradually. So what made me buy was a retest on on this stronger zone. Can you see it? A retest on on this stronger zone. And besides, I caught this W pattern, as you can see it. So I actually saw that it was forming W pattern. Now what I entered at this point here, at this very point. Now as you can see, I'm using H4. I'm not using my demand time frame. Okay, yeah. So then what actually made me to buy were this series of rejections. This series of rejections, as you can see here, series of rejections. Then I actually saw that it could form a double bottom, you understand, and continue to push upwards. And what made me buy was a breakout of this trend line, a breakout of the trend line. As you can see here, it's a breakout of the trend line, because we have a breakout of a zone, we also have a breakout of a trend line. So breakout of a trend line made me also want to buy, you understand, because it actually is a pattern. Like if I get to draw another trend line here, you actually get to see that it was a falling flag. Yeah, something like that. So now let's go into this. What should we look to do next? What should we be looking at? Where should we buy next, and all of that? Now can you see that we're having our zone again? We're having another zone here. Let me draw my zone first. Yeah, so some people may actually lose trades, and they'll be like, why did I lose this trade, and like that. Now it's because of it could be because of your zone. It could be, I'm not saying it's because, it could be because of your zone. So just kind of like learn to draw your zones well. So now, since we all know what a double bottom is just like this. Then a breakout and a retest before you buy. This is the safest point to buy. So now it means that the safest point to buy here also is a breakout and a retest, and then we opt in like this. You understand? We buy at this certain point. So that is our analysis for this. Keep it very, very simple. Because but what price would do? Let me show you what price could do on the H1 time frame. On the H1 time frame, what price could do is this. It could come back to this point. Sorry, it could come back to this point here. There's a point here coming. It could come back to yeah, it should come back to this point here. Yeah, exactly, this point here, before it start pushing up again. It could just make a retest at that point, probably from this zone, because there's a zone here. You just make a retest and continue to push upward. So I could buy from here or buy from here. So either one, it actually behave like, either it breaks upward straight like this and continue moving upward, or it comes back for a retest. I can buy here, then I'll still add another position at that point. It's as simple as that. Now let's go to our next asset. So moving on to our next asset. Our next asset is what? Our next asset is GBP USD. GBP what? GBP USD. Okay, now so what can we see here? What can we see? What I can actually get to see here is what a retest. Okay, yeah, see, I can see what a breakout, and I can see what a retest. You understand? Then I can see what again? I can see corrections. You understand? I can see corrections to the downside, meaning that what there will be an upward movement. See, forex is very well. Forex is very simple. Now, I won't condemn indicator. I wouldn't condemn indicator at all, but because I've actually used indicator before, and I've seen the lapses with it. You understand? I've seen so many people also kind of like they want to how will I put this now? They actually want to use indicator to trade along with price action. Yeah, some of them actually still end up confused. You understand? Some of them still end up confused, and you will just get to see that what they will not actually say, they don't want to use it again. Let them try something else. Me, since the day I cleared indicator off my chart, I decided that what I was not going to go back to it again. There were points that were actually challenging, like when I was actually learning, you understand, price action. There were points that they were actually challenging, and I felt like I should go to indicator back. I should go and start using indicator back. I even got it back to my chart and the rest like that. And after everything, I discovered that what I did not use it. Why? Because it wasn't just there again. Like, it wasn't for me at all. Okay, so now let's get into this now. Yeah. So what I can see is this. You can see a breakout and a retest of what of this big zone. This big zone. Okay. Yeah. So now let's get this straight. Yeah. Okay, yeah, so let me use my trend line to actually indicate what to show you to actually get to show you what the correction. Yeah, I actually don't want the video to be long. That's why I'm pausing. At least I should be done in 3 minutes time now. Okay, yeah, so thank you very much. Okay, now so this is it. This is what the correction towards the downside. Now let me go to my H4 time frame. Let me go to my H4 time frame. Let me show you something. Let me go to my H4 time frame, because I think I saw a correction before earlier on. So let me go there and show you. So what this thing could actually do is that what it could create a double bottom for an upward movement. Yeah, I hope you get me. It could create a double bottom for an upward movement. Okay, so now this actually the correction now. Yeah, it also forming a correction like this. As you can see it, this is the correction, which could lead towards to an upward movement. Yeah, before I don't draw corrections like this. I just draw my resistance trend line, which is this one. I just draw this trend line and wait for what breakout and retest. Anyone you choose to do, yeah, it all works. Yeah, but I think this pattern on just it shows you what is happening, what pattern, and where it's actually going to move out to. You understand? So that is why the pattern on is better than just how will I say it now? It's better than just drawing one trend line. You understand? Okay, now so this is it basically. So now what could happen in GBP USD is that what is this? It could do what? It could just it should just come down here, because I can actually see a momentum candlestick up there. It could just kind of like it could just come down a little bit. You understand? Like respecting the retest. It actually did respect the retest here, but it may still respect the retest again. You understand? Come back down like this before what pushing back upwards. So what will I do? Now? There are two things I can do. I can wait for what? I can wait for a breakout of this point here, a breakout of this zone. I can wait for what? A breakout of this zone, a retest before I buy. You understand? It's actually going to be a swing buy also. Wait for a what? Breakout and a retest before I buy. Or better still, I could wait for a breakout and a retest of what? Of this point too. Let me show you. I could also do what? Wait for a breakout and retest of what? Of this point or this other point below. where it is actually moving down. So I could actually wait for a breakout and retest at that point where it may probably move down. You understand? So when it breaks out and retest, then I will go to my lower time frame to see a point of what to see the point of entry. So basically that is that for that. So thank you very much for watching. Please do hit the subscribe button and also turn on the notification bell, yeah, so that whenever I post a new video, you actually be the first person that will actually get to know. Yeah, thank you very much. Peace.